Going on, people? Welcome to another show, the preview show of Arsenal versus Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park. Before I get into it, do me a favor, like the video, subscribe, do all of that good stuff, help the channel grow. Road to 500. We are going to be there, 100%. But let's get into this game. Obviously, Arsenal coming back off a great victory, 3-2 into the Carling Cup, well, Carabao Cup semi-final, and the draw was made yesterday, and we've got Newcastle. We've got Newcastle away, the second leg at home at the Emirates at the first leg, so that should be a very, very difficult game, interesting game, and potentially we could have a North London derby Carabao Cup final. But before I get into that, let's get into this game. Let's get into the Premier League. We need to win in the Premier League because we haven't won a game in nearly 3 matches now. We haven't won a game since, I think, that Man United game, that 2-0 at the start of December. We've drawn away to Fulham. We've drawn at home to Everton 0-0. So, yeah, we need to really win this game. So we'll get into the preview and see. Let's go have a look at the statistics. Let's have a look at how things are going to be playing out when, obviously, Arsenal meet Crystal Palace again the second time in about 4 or 5 days. So let's get into the team news. Now, Crystal Palace will be without Eze, who injured his hip in midweek against Arsenal. So that's why he came off, him and Mateo. I think it might have been 1-1 or 2-1 to Arsenal at the time when they both came off in the week on Wednesday at the Emirates. And yeah, that's a massive blow. You could argue that Eze is their best player. So to be missing him at home is going to be a big, big blow. Obviously, Wharton's still injured as well. Declan Rice has overcome a minor injury that he sustained against Everton. He should be available. I'll be talking more about that in, obviously, Arteta's press conference, Hot Off the Pressure, which will be coming shortly after this. So let's get into the heads-to-head. Obviously, a bit similar to obviously what I did before in the last preview against the same team, but obviously it's improved now with another win for Arsenal. So Arsenal are looking for a 5th consecutive league win over Palace. They have won the previous 4 by an aggregate score of 12-2. So, yeah, we've got a recently good record against Crystal Palace. It's funny because I remember probably about 4 or 5 years ago, under, I think, Unai Emery, we really struggled to beat them. I remember we drew 2-2 at Selhurst Park, and we lost 3-2 at home when Zaha scored, and we needed to win that to get into the Champions League at the time. We drew another game, I think, under Arteta at Selhurst Park, 1-1 when Aubameyang scored and then got sent off. So, yeah, there was a period between like 4 or 5 games where we didn't even beat them once. So, yeah, it's good to know that, obviously, that record has improved. Palace have lost their last 2 home games against Arsenal, failing to score in either one. Wow. Well, there you go then. Obviously, I remember last year we beat them 1-0 away from home. Yeah, which was a great victory. In the year before we beat them, the first game of the season, it was 2-0. Yeah, Martinelli scoring in that game as well. So I remember that very, very, very well. The Gunners have lost just 2 of their last 19 away league games against Crystal Palace, winning 10 and drawing 8. Fantastic, man. But the 2 losses we have had against Palace, they beat us 3-0. As I said, one was on my birthday. It wasn't a great experience, to be honest with you. It was not a great experience. So yeah, Crystal Palace have gone 5 league games unbeaten, their longest run in the season. So yeah, they had a rocky start at the start of the season, didn't win a game for quite a long time. Then they beat Tottenham Hotspur. And then, yeah, since then, I think, yeah, they've gone unbeaten, winning 2, drawing 3. Drawn with, obviously, Manchester City as well. So, yeah, yeah, they're in a decent amount of form, man. They drew, obviously, with Man United 2, 0-0 at Selhurst Park. So, yeah, it's going to be a difficult game there, man. Man City just about got a draw in the end. They probably could have and should have lost the game. So, yeah, I'm expecting another difficult game against them. Obviously, we just about beat them on Wednesday 3-2. So, yeah, very, very difficult. They have just lost 1 of their last 8 Premier League games, winning 3 and drawing 4. 2 of Crystal Palace's 3 league defeats this season have come against London clubs, West Ham and Fulham. So hopefully that's a good omen that we could beat another London club that beats them. Eddie Nketiah has failed to score in his last 28 league appearances, Premier League appearances. Obviously, that includes the games he had for last season. I think his last goals were that hat-trick against Sheffield United he got last season. I think that was around about October time. So, yeah, a long time, man. You could say it's been a calendar year since he scored. So he's already scored. I told you guys, he was always going to score against us in one of these games. He's already done that with a fantastic header in the week. Yeah, he might be tempted now with Eze obviously injured to start him in this game. And listen, it would not surprise me if he scores in this game as well, man, because it's just one of those things with players, man. We've seen it plenty of times, obviously, in Arsenal's favour with the likes of Danny Welbeck against Manchester United. Every time we face them, he scores. Obviously, Kai Havertz scored 2 goals against Chelsea last year. So it's just, I think it's a personal motivation from the player when they're up against their previous club, who have obviously sold them to the next club, to prove that they were wrong to sell them. So yeah, they always end up coming up with something special to beat them. Arsenal have gone 6 league games unbeaten, obviously unbeaten since that 1-0 defeat to Newcastle, winning 3, drawing 3. To me, that should have been like winning 6 in a row, really, if you obviously want to try and obviously win the league. But it's 3 draws in there. The Gunners have kept 17 clean sheets in the Premier League in 2024, more than any other side. However, they have conceded in the last 6 away games in the top flight. Yeah, I mean, that just shows you how good we were, obviously, prior to this bad run of form this season, that we still kept the most clean sheets, even though we've not kept any in our last 6 games. Yeah, we were fantastic on the road. But yeah, hopefully we can try and continue that in this game. Mikel Arteta's side are unbeaten in all of their 9 Premier League London derbies in 2024, winning 7, drawing 2. I think the 2 that we've drawn, I think one is against Chelsea. I'm not even sure who, and obviously Fulham. So yeah, the 2 draws have been in the last obviously 4 or 5 games. Arsenal have scored 9 goals from set pieces, excluding penalties, in this season's Premier League, more than any other side. Obviously, Stoke FC is obviously the massive thing everyone calls us now. But yeah, you can probably see why, because yeah, we do score from a lot of corners. Gabriel Martinelli has scored 5 Premier League goals against Crystal Palace, more than he has against any other opponent. 3 have come as a substitute. So yeah, that's a good omen for obviously Martinelli. He does like scoring against them. He has scored a few at Selhurst Park as well. So yeah, even if he doesn't start, maybe he can come on and obviously provide an assist or a goal to try and help obviously the team get through it and win the game. So yeah, that would be ideal, to be honest with you. Yeah, let's see if we can go to the head-to-head. So this season in the Premier League, Crystal Palace, the league position is 15th, Arsenal is 3rd. Total points, Crystal Palace 16, Arsenal 30. And then goals scored, Crystal Palace have scored 17 goals. Arsenal have scored 29, which obviously I said before is a tally that's been low in the last 3 seasons. Going to the form guide, obviously Crystal Palace's last game, losing 3-2 to Arsenal. The game before that, they won 3-1 away to Brighton. Good victory. Drew with Manchester City 2-2. They beat Ipswich 1-0 away from home, and then drew 1-1 at home with Newcastle. Arsenal's last 5, obviously the 3-2 win against Crystal Palace. Drawing 0-0 against Everton. 3-0 win in the Champions League against Monaco. 1-1 draw away at Craven Cottage against Fulham, and then a 2-0 win against Manchester United at the Emirates. Previous meetings, all competitions. Crystal Palace have won only 5 games against Arsenal. Also have won a total of 30 games. They've played 49 altogether with 14 draws. And then the last 3, obviously, meetings, 3-2 to Arsenal on Wednesday, and then a 5-0 win on January 20th, 2024. I remember that game. Gabriel got a couple of goals. Martinelli got a couple of goals. And then a 1-0 away win at Selhurst Park last season on the 21st of August. It was an Odegaard penalty that won us that game. So yeah, just a few obviously score lines there. I'll go into obviously a couple more statistics, shall we say. Crystal Palace have been between defeated 4 and a victory of 3 in their last 7 Premier League home London derbies, losing 2-0 against Fulham last time out at Selhurst Park. So Fulham beat them at Selhurst Park, the last London derby they've had. Like I said, Arsenal are unbeaten in all 9 of their Premier League London derbies in 2024. The last team to go unbeaten in such matches in a full calendar year were Chelsea in 2005, winning 9, drawing 1, while the last time Arsenal did it was 2004, obviously, when we were unbeaten, winning 7, drawing 3. So yeah, we've got a chance now. I think this is the last London derby before Christmas. Obviously, we've got Ipswich and then Brentford on New Year's Day. So yeah, this is the last one we've got in the league. Having lost 5 of their first 8 Premier League games this season, Crystal Palace have now lost just 1 of their last 8 and are beaten in the last 5. The Eagles are looking for a back-to-back Premier League victories for the first time since a run of 3 back in May. Arsenal kept 9 clean sheets in 10 Premier League games between February and September, but since then have conceded in each of their last 6. Like I said before, the Gunners last had a longer run without an away shutout between August and December 2019. That's pretty shocking, really, which was 7. Didn't even know that, to be fair. Arsenal, excluding penalties, Arsenal scored more set pieces. No team had more Premier League goals scored via defenders this season than Arsenal, 7, level with Manchester City. While Crystal Palace have had the highest share of their Premier League goals this term come from corners, 29%. Since joining Crystal Palace from Arsenal earlier this season, Eddie Nketiah has 20 shots in 11 Premier League games without scoring. 4 players have had their first Premier League goal for the club against Arsenal, having previously played for the Gunners. Kevin Campbell, big up Kevin Campbell, and Nottingham Forest, 1999. Nicholas Anelka, Bolton, 2006. David Bentley in Tottenham, 2008. And Mavropanos, obviously last year for West Ham when they beat us 2-0. So yeah, that concludes all of the statistics, shall we say, for the game. For me, like I said before, obviously the title of this is, should Gabriel Jesus start this game? Now, obviously a lot of people are really excited from the fact that he got a hat-trick, his first ever hat-trick for Arsenal on Wednesday against the same team. And for me personally, I definitely have to start Gabriel Jesus in this game. I just think he's got a lot of momentum in this game. And even if he is on the left or up front, he definitely just has to start this game. He needs to carry on that confidence. Gabriel Jesus is a massive confidence player. He's someone that really rides off confidence, that really needs that arm around the shoulder when he's doing well. And he's not scored a lot of goals, obviously, in the calendar year. I think that's his 4th Premier League goal that he scored all calendar year. So, not in Premier League goal, first 4 goals he scored all calendar year. So, with that being said, I do think that he needs to start this game, whether it's up front or on the left-hand side. Obviously, we know Kai Havertz has not been in good form recently on the left-hand side. Martinelli or Trossard doesn't seem to be working out with either of them, whoever is on that left-hand side. So, for me, I will play the team. And obviously, I'll go back onto the team news. We're in obviously the half of the press show. But based off what Arteta is saying, I will go with David Raya in goal, Timber right back with Saliba and Gabriel as a centre-back partnerships. On the left-hand side, I will go with Calafiori, now that he's been made available by Mikel Arteta in the press conference. Definitely go with him as a left back. In midfield, I would go Thomas Partey, Declan Rice in that left 8, and Martin Odegaard. The reason I'm going with that because I do feel like we missed something with Thomas Partey when he's not in the midfield, just because he has that urgency. He has that tendency to speed up the play. Obviously, we've been struggling to break down low blocks. It might be pretty similar with this game as well. So we need someone that's going to make us start quick, start fast. I think even on Wednesday, the fact that we went a goal down might have even helped us because we had a sense of urgency because we knew we needed to score. We needed to get back on level terms as quickly as possible. So the speed of the play quickened up. So for me, Thomas Partey in midfield, Odegaard back obviously in the starting 11 after obviously being on the bench in the Carabao Cup game. And then on the right, Bukayo Saka, the main man, the star boy, he's on the right-hand side. And then toss up between Jesus up front or Havertz. I'll probably keep Havertz up front, just because obviously it'll be nice to get him back in form as well. And then Gabriel Jesus on the left. And hopefully we can maybe get some interchange. And maybe we get Jesus in the middle, and then obviously Havertz drifting out to the left, or vice versa, just to obviously speed it up a bit and quicken it up a bit. But yeah, Jesus definitely has to start. Even if he's up front, I won't be too mad at it, to be honest with you. And if Trossard's on the left, I won't be too mad at that either. But hopefully we can get a victory, because we haven't won a game, like I said, in 2 in the Premier League. And we really need to gain some momentum, because obviously on Sunday it is Tottenham versus Liverpool. And that is a massive, massive game in terms of Liverpool possibly dropping more points. So yeah, it's pivotal we win this game to even have a little bit of a chance of even getting back into this title race, because at the minute we're in a top 4 race. But yeah, that concludes the preview show. Please like, subscribe, share, do all that good stuff. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Road to 500 subscribers. We can do it, guys. We definitely can do it. So yeah, buzzing for that. Preview show done. Yeah, I'm going to be back in a minute to do the heart of the press show, to go through Mikel Arteta in terms of what he's been saying about the team selection, the news, and who's available, who's fit, and all of that good stuff. So yeah, thanks for joining me for this stream. Like I always say, don't hate the player. You know the rest.